Welcome to boardshop.co.uk, new board time, a Machado model, a new one from Firewire. It's the Groove. So Rob's had loads of boards out over the last few years, and this is his most performance-y board, designed to be a small to medium weight performer, anything from waist to a little bit above head high. It's built for snappy surfing, fast hard turns, staying in the pocket, and a board that fits in the pocket. So let's have a little spin round it. The first thing you notice about it, the first thing we noticed about it, is the increased tail rocker. There's a lot of rocker in the tail. At first it looks a bit scary because you think, how's that going to carry speed, how's that going to paddle when you're getting into the wave. But actually we've had a demo one for a few weeks and it paddles really well. Part of that is to do with the way that it smuggles volume into the board. This is a 6.0, just over 37 litres. So for a 6.0 that's a lot of volume packed in, but the board doesn't feel corky. The volume is down the centre of the board and it pairs down into the rails. And the rails are quite foiled down and then they harden up just as you come up to the fins here, and this is where the double concave kicks in as well. So it's a traditional single into double, then V out the fins, designed to give you lift and that speed and a snappy surf. And that little pulled in squash tail with that tail rocker makes it really responsive. Machado says it's the most responsive board he's ever designed. So for small to medium wave surfing, like I said, staying in the pocket, it's a very snappy, very responsive board. As with lots of Rob's models, there's a nice bit of width up front, and as I said, the volume under the chest is what gives you that paddle power. So although it's designed as a more performance-y board, and he says it needs a wave with a bit of push and a bit of shape, actually in South Coast waves here it went fine even when it wasn't primo conditions. So with a bit of wind and a bit of chop it'll still function. So you could use it as one board to pretty much do everything in most of the waves that we get. It's set up with a 5-fin option. And there is of course the Groove fin that Machado's developed to go with the board, and there's a 3- and 5-fin option in that. The board that we had demo there was a thruster, so we've surfed as a thruster, and it was very pivoty, works very nicely, but they're pushing it really to be surfed as a quad to generate a bit more speed and a kind of looser feel. But you've just got to feel it out, try both, see what works for you. So it fits in well with all the other boards that Rob does, the more grovelly, flatter stuff that generates speed, and this board is more about creating performance rather than speed creation. And the Machado fins, as you can see, a bit of rake on them and very lightweight in the floating construction they do now. These waves generate the drive that you need. These fins are about release more than about hold, so if you want to surf it in bigger waves, a more upright fin will give you that hold, but because you're going to surf it in mid-range conditions generally, that kind of rake and that kind of fin template works really well. So this board is alongside boards like the Dumpster Diver, and it's got a dominatory feel to it, but maybe a little bit, with the way it packs the volume in, maybe a little bit more usable in smaller conditions than the Dominator. But it's going to be a cracker. Machado doesn't really make duff boards, so if you're looking for that small to mid-wave performer, stay in the pocket, tight, fast surfing, the Groove's the board for you.